Greetings! In today's video, we are taking a look at this little palette. Here, you might have seen me review a similar palette, but smaller, like about half the size, with 8 colors in it. And that's a recent video, so you might have seen that. What we have here is a small acrylic palette with 15 wells and 1 mixing area. The whole palette is clear acrylic and the magnets are embedded in the acrylic. The mixing area is completely translucent, but it worked out really well, as you can see. The colors spread out really nicely on it, so I didn't have any issue with it. And what I did is, this is my list of colors included in this palette, and it's a white post-it, and I just stick it on the back like this, and that serves as a sort of white backdrop for mixing, and it keeps the color info with the paints. The set comes with a clip to attach the two parts together like this. The magnets on their own are not strong enough to keep the palette together like that, but the clip works well. What I ended up putting in this little set is more Holbein paints. They are my go-to paints because I know they dry really well in palettes and I have them, so might as well use them, and I really like them, so it's a bit of a no-brainer for me. These are the 15 colors I put in this palette. I tried to go for a sort of rainbow effect with a really strong focus on the purples and the magentas, and I would have loved my cadmium green to look good, but it's gotta be old and probably separated in the tube, so the paint didn't turn out all that great in the palette and also on the swatch. It has a lot of binder, so it's quite glossy, but that's because it's separated in the tube. This palette is a mix of colors to make a kind of rainbow effect and also some favorites. I really like Vermilion Hue, I really like their Opera. Holbein has a lovely neutral tint, so I tried to go for colors that I like and to see what kind of palette that would make. I also painted this small color wheel to get a feel for the colors that I can mix with my yellow. I have 1 yellow. So I put the yellow here, I put Quin Red here, which is a nice magenta, and I put Phthalo Blue here at the bottom. So as you can see, you get a really nice array of colors. You got some vibrant greens in here and decent purples and some decent oranges. So overall, really not that bad. I think this is a really interesting and versatile triad. So to test out the palette, I also did a little sketch. I mostly wanted to test out the mixing area because I know how the paints behave. I'm familiar with Holbein paints. Really, the only unknown here is just how well this palette takes the paint. So on the well side, all the paints stayed put. Holbein paints are not the kind to just fall off their palette, but again, it worked out well. The palettes are easy to use. The wells are really nice. They're not too deep, they're not too small. Works out well, and it's acrylic, so I don't worry about damaging the wells themselves. On the other side, the acrylic mixing area, it worked out really well. It took to the paint really nicely, not a lot of beading going on. Like, this surface did not repel the paint, so that worked out well. And there's really not that much to say about this little palette. It works well, it's convenient, it's easy to carry around. It's perhaps a bit heavy because it's thick acrylic. If you look at it, it's really kind of thick, but it looks sturdy and it's quite small. I like the fact that it's acrylic because it's a completely waterproof material. You can find similar palettes in wood, but I don't know how the wood of those palettes take to a water-based medium like watercolor. This is not a concern to have with this set. I know some people would really prefer a white mixing area, but that's something you can remedy quite easily by just putting a piece of white paper on the back of the mixing area, and that's it. Very simple, easy fix. And that's it for me. So let me know what you think of this little palette. Have you tried it? Have you tried a similar one? I would really love to know your thoughts and impressions, so feel free to share in the comments. And again, thank you so much for watching this video. See you all in the next one. Bye bye!